you're well. Really rough day for me so far. Gonna try to thank the Lord for the rough day. Not his fault, but God says give thanks for all things. If you're having a crap day or a crap life like I am, thank God that I'm here. It's hard to say because I feel like I'm lying. I got a question for you. You, right there. This kind of, I mean, it hasn't just hit me all at one time like some kind of an epiphany from heaven. But I got a question. What is your price? Did you hear me? What is your price? What's up, man? What is your price? What does that mean? I was watching just now an interview between Tucker Carlson and Catherine Herridge. Catherine Herridge was at Fox, and then she went to, I think, CNN and then CBS News. And at CBS News, they stole all her files, stole all her records, all her journalist tools. And she didn't start out at Fox. She started out at, I can't remember, some big place over in London. Give me a minute. I'll be right back, Armando. But my Catherine Herridge first was introduced to her through Fox News when I used to watch Fox years and years and years ago. And she was always like the Washington reporter. Good afternoon, Grady. What's up, man? They hide me from everybody, Grady. Grady, you know how to get a hold of me. You got my Facebook account. You know how to get a hold of me. You want to talk? Thanks for being here. Catherine Herridge, I was first watched her as a Washington correspondent when she was with Fox News. And I always was like, she's a good reporter. She's straight down the middle. She calls balls and strikes. She does everything she's supposed to do. Good reporting. There was no emotion, no feeling. It wasn't, this is how I feel. There was no editorializing. It was, this is the news. And I accepted it. And I appreciated it. And then she goes to work for CNN. That's called the example for the question, what's your price? Now, Fox News is crooked. They're all crooked. They're all of our news in the world is controlled by like 6 people, okay? 6 different people own everything in the world. So the question, what's your price? How can you be Catherine Herridge, leave Fox News, because their credibility is a lot higher than CNN? How can you leave Fox News and even go to CNN? How could you even do that? Why wasn't there a burning in her soul said, heck no, I've never worked for CNN. They're a bunch of freaking liars over there. I'm an award-winning journalist. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to question my convictions. But what does Catherine Herridge do? Whoop. Hello, this is Catherine Herridge. Herridge was CNN News. What? How do you do that? How do you know you're walking in the door and you're a fraud right off the bat? What's her price? So she's on Tucker and she's talking about it. She's being very aloof. She's being very secretive about it. And she's trying to still play the journalist role while being in an interview about her journalist career. And it just seemed fake. And as Tucker's asked her a question, she's like, oh, yes, I'm really proud of my Hunter Biden laptop story report. It kind of shocked me, though, that It took our forensics team because we wanted to make sure we crossed our T's and dotted our I's. We wanted to make sure we got all the information correct. So, we had to do our due diligence to make sure we got the story right because we didn't want to harm anybody. It was just really disappointing that it took 2.5 years for our forensics team to say, oh, God, by the way, the laptop is real. What's your price? What's your price? 2.5 years to find out if a laptop was real? Guess who told me about the laptop? Rudy Giuliani, because he was the one who had it after the guy at the computer shop. Rudy Giuliani. And you can say whatever you want about Rudy. Is he a crazy old man? Yes. Has he just been disbarred by the New York State Bar? Yes. That man took down the mob by himself. I don't like law. I can't stand the laws that are in this country. I think the majority of them are corrupt. But that man shut down crime in New York City. And now they attack him and are ripping his reputation apart and taking away his ability to earn money. They have bankrupted Rudy Giuliani. He was never rich, but he was financially set. Why? Because he was honest. And he did good work. And then he became a consultant for other companies and businesses because of his legal knowledge. What's your price? What do you think's over being right now? Everyone at the airplane. Just got here. What's your price? Catherine Herridge. Oh, I'm just really disappointed it took 2.5 years, but my reporting was on point. What's your price? If I'm working for a reputable news company and they fire me, and then a corrupt news company comes up to me and says, hey, Stuart, we want you to come work for us. We're going to do a good job. We're always going to tell the truth. Wink, wink, with fingers crossed behind their back. But me, in my heart, I know they're corrupt. I've known they're corrupt. I've known they've always been corrupt, and I know they'll always be corrupt. But I'm going to go work for them? Well, as long as I do the job right, nothing else matters. Well, you didn't do your job right because you let them take 2.5 years to validate the Russia conspiracy hoax by 51 Intelligence. Because 51 Intelligence operatives said it was Russian disinformation. What's your price? And then she leaves there and goes to work for CBS News. Guess what their reputation's like? Garbage. If Fox News is top of the stack when it comes to mainstream cable news on being honest and telling the truth, if they're top of the stack, how far down do you think CNN and CBS and MSNBC is? They're at the bottom. Listen, these people that work for like Fox News and Catherine Herridge, I cannot put a specific number and tell you how much money she's making. But I would dare to say she was making at least $200,000 a year. Now maybe I just have no idea what I'm talking. Maybe I'm grossly. It's possible I have no idea. She could be making $30,000 a year, but I doubt it. I'm thinking between 175 and 200 grand a year. Now I understand when people start making that kind of money, they start living outside their means. As in, we got to go buy the $1 million house. You can't live in Washington D.C. where she lived at and not be rich, because that's one of the most highest priced cities in America, and that's compared with Beverly Hills as well. So don't give me that. Oh well, I'm just a modest reporter. No. So what made her be bought? What caused her to be purchased? Well, there's two or three things that caused her to be purchased. She's a whore for the media. What factors are there? Well, you have to be dishonest. That's the first thing. You have to be a liar. You have to have corruption in your heart to know the truth and turn a blind eye. Because listen, somebody comes up to me and say, hey, Stuart, you're working for Fox News. We know that they're honest and all, but we're liars, but we're going to pay you a whole lot of money. What's your price? I'm going to laugh at them. You're not going to pay me to lie. There's nothing you can do to tell me, you know what? We're going to reward you for being dishonest. Why? Because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be dishonest for anybody. I'm not going to lie for myself, guys. It's just like today. More bad news. I told you about my medication problem when it comes to the little bit of help that I get from Medicaid. Well, another medicine that I have to take. Tina went to fill it again today. The last medicine was $47. She had to get it. That's what nerve medicine for my shoulder. She had to get that. Well, this next one is even more severe than the nerve medicine. And they're like, oh, sorry, they refused to give it to you. You have to try 2 medications beforehand. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm in the bizarre world. And then when I talked to my doctor here, she said, oh, just tell them that you used Advil and Tylenol and it did not work. And the nurse, and my doctor, she's African, and I'm really just about over her. Not because she's African, because she doesn't care. She came from another country to America. She got a college education paid for by us, and she's here just raking in the freaking bucks, and she doesn't care about people. She don't care about me. She don't care if I died tomorrow. She'd have 10 more people in my place. She does not care about me one bit. And it really upsets me that the lack of care that she has for me. The lack of empathy that she has for a customer, because the oath that they take says to do no harm. Well, you're harming me when you don't care about me. There's things that she could have done that could have helped me with my case, and she refused to do any help at all. So the next one comes in today. Oh, sorry, you have to try 2 more different medications before we can put you on that one. I said, you mean to tell me for the last 3 years I've been underneath the doctor's care, never failed it? Because nowadays you want to get, if they give you aspirin or Tylenol, you have to take a piss test. 3 years I've never missed a piss test. I've never missed a pill count. I've never missed anything when it comes to fulfilling my duties to get my medication. Never failed a drug test, nothing. Do you think anybody's going to believe me? No help at all. And Tina, she's like, well, Tina, you're going to have to call them on phone, and you're just going to lie to them. I said, what are you talking about? Well, if it means that you got to lie to them for them to get this done, then that's what you got to do. I said, I guess that I won't get it. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm not going to lie for medicine. She said, but you practically freaking die without the medicine that they give you, because there's some serious things going on thanks to the weapons that I'm being attacked with. And I said, no. I said, I refuse to get in front of somebody and lie. Why? Because I don't have a price. I'm not for sale. If this government refuses to help me with all the time that with what I've earned, then that's on this government. But I can tell you this much, and I don't care who says it. I think it is beyond criminal that in America, people come from other countries to here and they get benefits thrown at them. Thrown at them. It's like the guys that moved in the cartel house next door. Whole family moved in next door. They got a brand new car there. None of them even work. They don't, to my knowledge, none of them work. None. At least the last cartel people and they worked every day. None of the people didn't work in the South. The guy just sits out on the front porch, smokes cigarettes, and drinks beer, and then throws his Modelo cans out in the front yard. So in America, and this is what, and for any Spanish-speaking people in the audience, anybody that's an illegal alien in America, thank you for being here on my live channel. But let me tell you what 99.9% do not understand is you are being used no differently than a nuclear weapon. They are using you as a nuclear weapon. They're using all illegal immigration as a nuclear weapon to destroy America. You bring in millions and millions of undocumented, unskilled, low-wage, poor people, and you dump it on a system that wants to help, and you collapse everything in that system. Our schools, the only reason we're building schools is to house the illegal alien children, because white Americans are not reproducing. Black Americans' reproduction rate has dropped, and the only people in America that are breeding are, guess who? Illegal immigrants. Why? Because the government says you have more babies, we pay you more money. The Great Replacement Theory is real. They are replacing white Americans. They admit it. They admit it. So I know that you're coming here for a better life, but what you're doing and what you do not understand is this great dream known as America, you are responsible for collapsing it. You are responsible for the destruction of America. Just like I saw, who was it talking about it today? God, who was it? It was another newscast I was watching. Who was it? It was somebody talking about about the workforce, talk about these. Well, how would you feel? Oh, I think it was Eric Swallowswell interviewing Ben Shapiro in a congressional hearing, and Swallowswell was like, "Well, what do you think about illegal immigration? Should we do a mass deportation?" And he said, "What about the people? And should they all get green cards?" And Ben Shapiro was like, "Oh, well, we should give them green cards because this job's no one else wants to do." No, that's not the truth. That's not true. What Ben said is they're the jobs that no one wants to do. That is not true. Just like when I come by my airport, they're building a museum at Hickory building a museum. And I looked up and there was men up there erecting big steel erection. A company was out there, and every person on those lifts and in them harnesses were illegal aliens. Every single one of them were little brown men. Okay? Now listen to me. It is not that these are jobs that Americans do not want. These are jobs because you have brought in so many unskilled, low-wage workers that the American people cannot afford to work at that low of a wage. We cannot afford to work for $10 or $12 an hour. We can't afford it. For one thing, the American people have been sucked into the debt cycle. They have been turned right around in that debt whirlpool that has dragged every American down the hole. Not me. I don't have any credit card debt. But the American people cannot afford to work these jobs paying $12 an hour. And you can dislike this, like this or not, but the fact is that the majority of immigrants that come in this country, they will stack themselves up in a house with many, many others. So then by the time you get done at the end of the day, there'll be 2 or 3 different families, minimum 2 or 3 families in one home, and they all share the bills. In 6 months, they all go in a car, they pay that off, they all go in another car and pay it off, they go in and get another car paid off, and then they move up to houses. And that's not to say the illegals who come here get the cash money and start a new business. And then what they do, instead of pouring back into the American economy, they go to Dollar General, they go to Walmart, and then they send all their money back to Mexico. So the money does nothing here. It doesn't generate any tax revenue whatsoever. So it isn't that Americans are too lazy to work, because that's a lie. These construction jobs, like the one I saw this morning, that should be a high-paying job. But guess what? As long as you've got another man over here that doesn't know what he's doing but is willing to take a pay cut, he will take it. It's just like I got on the stream the other day, and they're talking about how new construction in America, brand new houses and homes are crumbling to the ground. Why? Because the people that are coming here illegally, they don't know what they're doing. And building inspectors are past it. Why? Because a lot of illegal aliens have got into city and county governments, and they're the home inspectors, and they don't even know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're inspecting. They just, well, looks good to me, pass it. There's one guy on Facebook Marketplace, or on Facebook Shorts, and he's a home inspector, and he goes out and he shows these trusses in the top of houses where the gaps don't even match up, the wood ain't even cut correctly. There'll be 20 freaking nails in one board, and there's supposed to be 3, and then none of them go in it. It's amazing. Are most construction jobs unskilled? No, most of the people being hired are unskilled. Or they say, hey, have you ever built a building? And then the unskilled Mexican labor says, see, I built a shanty back at home in the barrio. It's insane. So they don't know what they're doing. And the problem is, and you can say corporate greed. The prices are so high to be in business, doing any kind of business, that the builders can't afford to buy the best stuff. It's just like Americans right now are suffering. I can't remember, it was millions of houses that were built using Chinese sheetrock. Well, the Chinese sheetrock is all melting and going rotten and becoming toxic inside the walls of these houses. Inside the houses, brand new houses, and the people can't stand because the sheetrock is toxic by the junk being dumped on us from China. It's just like with the car market. Look, Ford is about to be crushed underneath all the weight of this EV vehicles. They can't afford it. They're trying to sell trucks for $100,000 because the market is so screwed up. So how do they get skilled jobs that are unskilled? The problem is, they're not qualified for a skilled job. They come here because they don't know what they're doing. Listen, this is what people don't understand about God, I just lost the word. About asylum. If you try to get asylum, you have to go to the first country you see and ask for asylum. You don't skip 20 different countries to get to America. And there's no such thing as poverty asylum. That's not a thing. Oh, there's no jobs in Tijuana, so I have to come here to get paid. That's not asylum. That's not an asylum claim. It has to be something like political violence. Oh, well, the drug gangs are so bad in my town that I had to leave because I was going to be in danger. No, you don't get asylum because you live in a bad neighborhood. You come here from asylum because your government is attacking you. Not because the people are, not because the cartels are, not because you can't afford to buy a cheeseburger. You come here because what? Because your government is attacking you, because the government is trying to hurt you. That's what asylum is. Protection from your government, not protection from the consequences of your bad voting habits. And that's the thing in just like in Carolina and in Texas. Everybody is leaving the North and leaving California, and they're going to other states. The South is covered in Yankees. It's been destroyed. You can't go to Florida and not run across a Yankee from Massachusetts. They leave that crap hole that they've been voting in for 50 years. They have destroyed the home they lived in. They lived up there, and they voted to have public restrooms everywhere. What I mean by that, places to take a dump. They voted for poop. And then they stand around and look, oh my God, we've been here 50 years, and the place just turned to crap. What are we going to do? I know. We're going to move to another city, another place that's safe, that is beautiful, and they have freedom and low taxes. We're going to move there. And then when they get there, guess what they do? They vote for more public toilets on the sidewalk. They vote for more shit. Pardon me, Lord. They vote for more crap. They vote for the same stuff that they ran away from that they created. Do you think bringing in these millions and millions of unskilled workers is going to help America? Look at California. That's your example. California, one of the richest in resources states known to man. Known to man. And they've bankrupted it. They have a map in California that shows you where the poop is on the sidewalk. And it covers the whole state of California. Now, why would they let a society, why would they let their government destroy such a beautiful place? You want me to tell you? California has some of the most valuable real estate in the world. Okay? So what they do is they let the citizens vote to destroy it. So when they destroy it, everybody says, I can't take it. I love it. My property's worth millions of dollars, but I can't afford the taxes on it. The taxes are too high in this state, and there's too much crime. The place is a freaking jungle. We have to run away. So then people run away. So what happens then? You have all this, and Walgreens left California. Many big businesses, millions of businesses have left California, right? So now we've got all these empty businesses, all these empty buildings, all this empty land, all this empty resources that nobody can afford to have. And then what happens? George Soros, BlackRock, Vanguard, they all roll right in and buy the most expensive real estate in the world. Pennies on the dollar. And guess what happens then? When the time is right, then they'll come in with martial law. They'll shut the drugs down. They'll shut the crime down. And they'll make it a beautiful utopia again. Once the place has collapsed and they've killed each other. Once the people are so sick of it, the ones that don't move out will eventually kill each other, or each other, they'll all overdose on the same drugs, and they'll all die. And then 3 or 4 of globalist satanic pedophiles will stand right there and say, look at me, I own California. How did that ever happen? Well, you put a DA in the right position, a DA that will not prosecute crime, but will prosecute a patriot for standing on a sidewalk and protesting abortion. Or somebody that wants to pray in church, arrest him for praying. Or somebody that misgenders somebody, arrest that person. All the major cities in America have George Soros DAs who let the crime run rampant because they know that high crime does what? High crime destroys property values. High crime runs off the good amount of the public and brings in all the bad. High crime takes gold and shoves it right into the elitist pocket. So don't take this conversation as racist. No. Americans are more than willing to work because Americans can't afford to work for the low wages. How do these illegal aliens become skilled labor? Go home and be skilled. Go to where you come from and change it. I'm getting ready to do an expose in my town. And I'm going to go to every Mexican hood, every illegal alien, every place I know that hires nothing but illegals. I'm going to go and I'm going to put it on I'm going to show you guys. I hope, Lord, please help me do this because I'm too busy to do anything right now. But I'm going to try to show you all the buildings, all the schools that we're building mainly for illegal aliens. I'm going to get Mason at school to take a picture of his class, of all the kids in his classroom. Because last year, if you remember, it was 3 American kids, two black kids and a white boy in his class, and the rest were non-English speaking illegal alien children. But that wouldn't be true, would it? It's just me lying, right? When I had my business, I started out with Advanced Auto Parts, and I was dirt cheap, $300 a month. That included blowing the entire parking lot off 4 times a month, mowing the grass 4 times a month, weed spraying, doing the bushes, everything. $300 a month. That is dirt cheap. That's 3 men, 35 to 40 minutes once a freaking week for $300. You ain't making nothing. And then they cut me down to do it twice a month. They wanted $150. And then they got me down to $100. I said, I can't move my truck for that. I got to work 3 times as hard when I'm here to make up for what I haven't done. Boom. Fired me. They got an illegal alien crew to come in, and that crew did it for $15. They mowed that 1 yard. 3 little Mexican guys on it for an hour and a half for $15. Why? Because they were getting benefits from the government. I wasn't getting nothing. They were getting benefits. They were getting HUD. They were getting the housing. They were getting the benefits. They were getting the child support so their children would be fed. So that what little bit of money they were making, all of it got to go in their pockets. But you don't know nothing about that because white people don't want to work. That ain't true. America used to be known for its beautiful buildings and architecture and art, and now we're known for plastic. Now we're known for garbage. We're known for junk. We are the throwaway society in America because they chose for it to be that way. And you know how they did it? You know how they did it and got away with it? Because all they had to do was say, you're a racist. You hate brown people. You're mean. Call me mean. Call me mean. I'm sure that's why you can't get ahead. You speak truth. That silence you didn't cause. Yep. Love you, Mossy, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. Let's see here. Let me see. I've been undercut time by being dead. Let's see. Tina M's around. I don't know how long. I don't know how this moving situation is going to work out because it gets tighter and tighter every day. As soon as we think that we get a little bit of room, like I was getting food assistance from the government, because I qualify because of my physical and mental health. I qualify for food assistance. Oh, they took that away. They took it away. So then I'm like, well, they took that away. At least now I get a little bit of help with my medical assistance. Now they took that away. So here I'm an American citizen, worked my ass off my whole entire life, and now I can't get any help. But I look at the illegal aliens in my town and on my street, driving around. Every one of them's got brand new shoes, a brand new Apple cell phone. Every one of them's got a brand new car, and there's 100 of them living in one freaking house making bank. And they walking up and down the road. And every time you go, anytime there's a fair, anytime you go out shopping, anytime you go to Home Depot, you go to you go to Olive Garden, you go to any of the nicest places in town, there's a pack of illegal aliens in there, and every woman in there is pregnant with 3 babies on her hip, walking around living the good life. But I can't give that to my family. I can't give that to my family. And you know the worst part about it is my daughters, you know, they're younger and they didn't grow up like me. They didn't see America the way it used to be. America used to be a beautiful place. I didn't come across my first Mexican person till probably I was 21, 22 years old. Back when I was in school, there were foreign exchange students, and one or two of them. You understand? 1 or 2 of them. That was it. Thanks, Mossy, man. God bless you. That was it. I wasn't hidden. They weren't here. They weren't here. There were jobs. There was plenty of things to do. But in America now, oh, no. The illegal alien gets the shot first. Just like with my benefits because I have to appeal the decision through social services. I said, you know what? I left the message. I said, if I was speaking Spanish right now, you'd be trying to hunt me down to give me benefits. But because I'm a white American man, middle-aged American man, you don't want to help me. This country, I helped build this freaking country, and you won't do anything to support me when I'm not able to support my family now. But my daughters were seeing, like I told you the story about my youngest daughter the other week, about this woman just bumping her gums together, my daughter being hateful to her. Same thing happened to my oldest daughter today. They took my grandson to the doctor, and I was there the last time we went to the same doctor's clinic, and there's this illegal alien girl in there. And all she has to do is take a little just a little bit of CNA degree. That's it. Just take enough to be able to wipe a baby's ass and take a temperature. That's it. She comes there and she is the rudest illegal alien I've ever met in my life. She can't even speak English, and she's in there jerking my grandson around. She's freaking rude. Well, she had my daughter so upset this morning. My daughter was in tears, crying, trying to report this woman for being so hateful. Hateful. I saw it from her. She left the doctor's office. I came straight to my house at 9:30 this morning in tears, so upset how this illegal alien treated her and my grandson. Guess how they got the job? It wasn't because she's skilled labor. You know how they get these government jobs? Do you want to know how these illegal aliens get the government jobs and all the jobs? You know why? Because they're in a place what deals with people. What people do they deal with, Shannon? Can you ever know? Can you ever guess? They get the job because they can just speak Spanish. Not because they're skilled, not because they took a test, not because they've been trained. It's because they can speak the language. That's it. I wish I could wake up and go get a job just because I speak English. Hey, you speak English, just hire him. You don't go to South America and say, oh, no. You can't speak Spanish. You have to speak English to me. We're not going to do that. I'm here. You're going to respect my rights and speak to me in English. I'm not going to learn your language. Speak English or don't talk to me. You can't do that. You can't do it. America's the beast country. Oh, yeah. America is the great Satan. Absolutely. And you know, the worst part of it is because Americans aren't racist. Because true red-blooded Americans like me, we're not hateful. So people have stood by so long and watched their country be destroyed. Just like my house. There's no privacy in my backyard now. What did I tell you? I told you the illegal alien behind me that owns 2 houses and 3 or 4 different properties. What did I tell you? He was going to cut down every tree. He's wiped out half the freaking trees already, and the rest will be gone within 2 months. But guess what? His kids will walk around with brand new... His kids don't have to go out in the yard and help him. They get to sit in the house and play video games all day long. They don't have to do nothing. His wife doesn't have to work because she's not legally his wife. They don't have to do anything. They get to live the American dream while the Americans suffer daily. I can't even get the health care that I've already paid for. I can't get the help that I need. But that's racist if I say that, right? God bless you. God bless you, Monster Man. All I speak is redneckese. All I speak is truth. What's your price? I don't have one. I don't have a price. I'm not for sale. I'm going to tell you the truth no matter how many feelings it hurts, no matter how many people it disappoints. I'm going to tell you the truth, and that's why you're here. Like, share, and subscribe. My phone's going dead because some reason I'm going through a phone charger problem again. It seems that I go through 40 chargers a year. I don't know how that happens. I guess my imagination is just hard on phone chargers. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. You want to hit me up? Hit me up. Leave your email address. You know how to get me, Grady. See you, man.